Live from New York, it's Wearable Electronics with two unicorns.
Welcome to the show, everyone. This is me, Becky Stern, and Jess co-hosting today as your special unicorns. Jess, what's on today's show besides these lovely unicorns?
Today's show, we're going to talk about unicorns.
This is our debut project. It's our debut project today on Wearable Wednesday and other things from the blog.
We're going to talk about glow-in-the-dark filament.
Flexible glow-in-the-dark
Flexible glow-in-the-dark filament. We're going to have a quiz game, a new segment.
This is a new segment where I'm going to read to Jessica 4 Kickstarter or 4 crowdfunding wearables projects, and she's going to have to tell which one is not real. You guys can play along at home as well, so I hope that you'll stick around for our new segment later. It should be really fun.
And then Becky will answer your questions, and the prize this week is a copy of Getting Started with Adafruit Flora by Becky and Tyler.
So if you have questions throughout the show, you can ask them in the comments, on the live comments on YouTube. You can ask at any time during the week on any of our Wearables YouTube videos and on the Adafruit blog and on Google Plus and Twitter. And we'll gather your questions up and answer them on a future show, making you eligible to win that week's prize. So ask away. Wearables questions, though.
Indeed.
All about wearables.
And this week's code, 10% off with the code UNICORN.
Could you guys guess that one? Could you guys guess that the code today would be unicorn?
Unicorn.
You can get 10% off everything in your Adafruit cart, excluding just things that are made of bits, like gift certificates and software. Expires tonight. Okay,
Yay.
cool.
So let's talk about what's on the blog this week with Wearable Wednesday.
Jess helps write the blog. Jess, what cool things are on the blog this week that people might want to check out?
This was a great project from a student that wrote in. She goes to NC State, and she's a textile engineering major. And she made this light-up necklace dress.
Super cool. It looks like a necklace, but it's actually Flora and NeoPixels on a dress right around the collar. I think that's a smart thing to do.
Yeah.
Good job, Victoria. Thanks for sending it in. If you make any cool wearables projects, we would really like to see them. I know they make me really happy, and we post them on the blog.
Yeah.
So you can share those with us.
Write in. You can write to support@adafruit.com, and we will post them on the blog.
Yeah. Jessica will.
I will. Yes. This is another one that a customer sent in. It's a LED motorcycle jacket for safety.
It looks super cool. It has a gemma, right? It uses a gemma.
Yeah. And he wrote in saying that actually, as he was riding his motorcycle around, a car pulled up and said, "Thank you for being so safe with your light-up jacket."
I know that when I'm driving a car, I feel, and motorcyclists surprise me, I get really worried both for their safety and for my, I don't want to hit anyone. That would ruin my day also.
Yes.
So
he's saying he bought a black helmet and a black jacket to look really cool, and then he was like, "Oh shoot, no one can see me."
LEDs make you look cool and safe.
So this is another solution.
Oh, this is from Leslie. So Leslie got, for her birthday, she got a Fitbit Charge HR, which is the heart rate monitoring Fitbit. And she wrote a nice long article on the blog about her experience with it, her first couple of days. She's using it for tracking her sleep and her exercise. So if you're interested in Leslie's first impressions of the Fitbit HR, you can check out her, I wouldn't call it a review, I'd call it first experience log.
First experience log, yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Love seeing everyone's perspectives. Oh, and in other news, late last week, this podcast went public with me and Amanda Parks. So the American Fashion Podcast with Charles Beckwith did a wearable tech episode, and Amanda, who went to MIT and works for Manufacturer New York, does a whole bunch of, we talked about technological advancements required to make wearables even more future, and we talked about Apple Watch, and we talked about all kinds of stuff. She's a really interesting person, and if you want to listen, the link is on the blog.
Great.
Oh, another event. So Leslie posted this up. This is the Digital Fashion and Wearables Showcase that is currently at FabFest Boston, but is going to move on August 8th and 9th to the Reggie Lewis Center in Roxbury Crossing, Massachusetts. And it looks like a really cool collection of wearables projects, so you can go check them out in person and see how they...
Yeah, if someone goes, let us know how it was.
Yeah, I'd love to see some more pictures.
If you see any cool projects. definitely.
There's a couple listed on their site, but I'm sure there's more that, It's always nice to see things up close and personal. What's this, Jess?
This was a supercapacitor watch that Peter wrote in to tell us about that he posted on hackaday.io. The watch does like 500 million different types of things. It has like moon phases, it has like all kinds of stuff, dates, time, I don't know. There's like a ton of stuff. So you can check it out on the blog. It's very cool.
It's really fun. It looks like it has like a calculator and like a temperature sensor and an alarm. So
yeah, it has a lot of different things.
That's really fun. I like now that that we're going from the standard sort of like hacker conference badge profile into like the wrist-mounted circuit board profile, where everyone's getting a lot better at getting their own PCBs made and then putting tiny parts on them. So that like now instead of we all still have those badges also, but this is like a little smartwatch that does everything.
Yeah,
you can wear it on
homemade smartwatch.
Yeah, really neat, really fun way to play around with this tech. So thanks for sending that in, Peter.
Thanks, Peter. Okay, so
let's
talk about this week's project that I am wearing on my head.
I have wanted to, and then yours isn't even, it's not
Mine's
even
not
on.
lit up
You can't
yet.
even see, maybe you can turn that one on, but it's like, with how bright it is in here, you can't even really see it. That's why we took these lovely photos and videos for you. So I have been wanting to make this project for a long time. Noe and Pedro are 3D guys. There you can.
I don't think you can even tell that it's...
tell that it's lit up. Can you see that it's shining on my hand? Can you see that it's shining? Yeah, no.
There you go. Now you can see it.
Totally see it. Yeah. Anyway, I promise it's real. Noe and Pedro have been working on it for a long time because apparently it was really complicated to model. And 7-year-old me is very excited that we have this unicorn horn to wear. Jess and I are obviously wearing the hat version, but we also made a headband, and you can make it without electronics, just the glow-in-the-dark filament on a headband. And then maybe upgrade it later or not. It's a great project for kids to do with their parents as a first-time soldering project, and we have a video that you might want to watch.
Check it out.
Here's a fun and easy costume project you could build in an afternoon. It's a 3D printed unicorn horn with NeoPixel LEDs inside, powered by an Adafruit Gemma microcontroller. Let's get started. Download our free file and print out the model in white or glow-in-the-dark NinjaFlex. With our recommended settings, the print takes about 3 hours. These sew tabs make it really easy to attach to a hat or headband or hoodie. You get the idea. And you can use it as is or heat up your soldering iron to add some electronics. This seemingly simple object was actually quite complex to model for 3D printing. So Noe made a layer-by-layer video detailing all of what he did in CAD and the special considerations for printing, including dual extrusion for a multicolored horn. I'll put the link in the description. We're using 2 NeoPixel sticks back-to-back and wired in parallel. Use silicone-coated stranded wire to connect the digital inputs together, as well as power and ground. Also add long wires to connect up to Gemma. Load the simple rainbow sketch onto Gemma using the Arduino software, and test your circuit before sticking the NeoPixel boards together with foam tape. To make a simple headband, measure 2 pieces of grosgrain ribbon to fit your noggin, and zigzag stitch them together along the edges. Fold over and stitch the ends together around an elastic hairband to get a nice stretch fit. The ribbon sandwich can hold the Gemma and battery off to one side, with wires inside leading to the pixels. To build the circuit on a baseball cap, thread the wires through a hole in the front before soldering to Gemma. A little optional fiber fill can help keep the pixels centered in the horn. All that remains to do is hand stitch it in place through the sew tabs. And just like that, Adafruit is a unicorn company. This is a great last-minute Burning Man or Halloween project, and there's plenty of room to put your own spin on it with sensors and LED animations. I can't wait to see what you make in our weekly show and tell hangout on Google+. And please subscribe for more electronic costume projects from Adafruit.
Awesome.
Okay, so for Halloween, I hope you guys are all set.
Yeah. I mean, it's like a pretty easy costume. Just throw on a little tail.
Yeah,
And like a leotard?
Yeah, I think anything. And it's
Anything,
easy.
really.
So Lady Rainicorn from Adventure Time, or Unikitty from the Lego Movie, or The Last Unicorn. I know we're throwing it way back for that one. And then also like a majestic narwhal.
Narwhal costume, yeah.
What other horned animals can you think of that we can use?
I just think it would be really cute on a baby.
Yeah, baby unicorn.
Like a baby unicorn. I mean...
I would like to see it. So the file
I
takes
would
3
love
hours
that.
to print, the circuit takes, like, you can build the whole circuit while the file is printing, for sure. So it's a pretty quick project. And I found it really fun. I'm already had Dano over here pictured print out like a bunch of extra ones because I know people around the factory are gonna.
Yeah.
I think after this, maybe I'll bring the headband over to Adrian, whose birthday it is.
Oh yeah, birthday unicorn.
Birthday unicorn mandatory.
Yes, definitely.
And yeah, I just, this project has been like a long time coming, even though it's a simple one, simple to make now that the 3D file is made. And then tomorrow, you can already click the unlisted layer by layer video if you want to learn more about it, but tomorrow Noe and Pedro will release that video to the public so you can get a sneak peek.
And speaking of, 10% off code today is unicorn.
Yeah, so you can get all of your, there's not that many parts necessary for this build. It's not very pricey, but you can get 10% off the already pretty reasonable bill of materials with code unicorn.
Unicorn, my favorite kind of corn.
It's my favorite kind of corn also. A close second would be on the cob.
On the cob. Material spotlight.
Okay, guys, let's talk about the material that the unicorn horn is made out of. This would be the newest addition to our offerings of the NinjaFlex line, and that would be glow-in-the-dark NinjaFlex. So you charge it up with UV light, so you leave it out in the sun, or you use your UV LEDs. I was thinking if we put a UV LED in that one, in addition to the NeoPixels, then it could be like self-charging, because you could you charge it up with the UV LED and then the light, and then you turn the power off, and then it's just glowing.
Ooh, someone try that.
Yeah, you should try that, or you can leave it out in the sun.
Yes.
Is what we did in order to take its picture. So this is what it looks
See?
like, and we already have the glow fill from ColorFab. That's the glow-in-the-dark PLA, but that's rigid. So if you want a flexible glow-in-the-dark material, we now have the glow-in-the-dark NinjaFlex. Works with most FDM printers. You can watch Noe and Pedro's video and guide about getting your printer all tuned up for NinjaFlex. But
See, this is what it looks like.
Off.
Unlit and
Right.
lit.
Yeah, correct. And then we have a
Yes.
picture comparing them off. Yeah, the one on the left there is translucent, then white, then the glow-in-the-dark one you could see is like a slightly yellower color, and then another white one. So it's not too different in color, and it diffuses the light. It's like slightly more translucent than the white. I don't know. It transmits the light the same. But if you're looking for that pristine white, you need to get the white stuff, and then it won't glow in the dark. Anyway, tomorrow also the debut project for the 3D Thursday is going to be a flexible conductive filament glove with LEDs on it that's also made with the glow fill, so you can see, the glow in the dark NinjaFlex, so you can see more, you can see it flexing in the dark. Or we don't really show in the video the unicorn horn flexing that much, but you can see that it's the reason we use this you can print this in regular PLA just fine, but then it's slightly dangerous for those around you, right? Whereas this one, if you knock into somebody, you could poke them in the eye, I suppose, but it's going to have some give to it, so it won't
stab someone,
impale anyone. Yeah, So
but if you want to impale someone, you can
print it in regular PLA, and then wear goggles while you have some jousting games. So subscribe to the YouTube channel if you want to catch Noe and Pedro's flexible glow-in-the-dark LED raver glove tomorrow. That's going to be a really cool project.
Awesome.
Okay.
And if you want to get some of this NinjaFlex that glows in the dark,
you can get it for 10% off.
Code for unicorn.
$50 for a spool of filament. You can get it for $45.
Hey.
Okay, I'm really excited about this new segment we're going to do, Jess. Jess doesn't know what we're about to
I
inflict
have no
upon her.
idea what this quiz game is going to be.
So I picked out 3 real crowdfunding campaigns, and I wrote one imaginary crowdfunding campaign. And this is inspired by Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me on NPR, if you've heard that, right? Where they tell you some news stories and you have to pick which one that's not real.
Okay.
So, and I have pictures, so maybe you'll go to the first one and I'll read it. I'll read it to you. And I've left out the names of the. I'm not very good at, so I can write a fake crowdfunding campaign, but I can't. I'm really bad at names of things. And I sat at home for I don't know, a good 15 minutes trying to name my fake thing, and then I was like, fine, I'm just going to take the names out of all of them because I can't come up with a good name for it that was going to be convincing. Anyway, okay, are you ready? You can play along at home. You can put your guesses in the chat if you want. That Jess may or may not be peeking at them to influence her decision. Okay, how are we doing on time? Pretty good. This is the first in-ear wearable thermometer and the smallest wellness wearable. It captures the real core body temperature instead of skin temperature, providing reliable basal body temperature data for women trying to conceive. A woman wears the comfortable silicone-encased earpiece all night, during which data is collected multiple times to determine the lowest BBT. The earbud is stored in the base station, where the data is transferred and synced to the iOS or Android app. The app helps women manage their overall health and track the symptoms associated with ovulation. With data analytics, the device becomes more predictive with each monthly cycle. Okay, that's number 1. Fertility.
I'd be really impressed if you made that one up.
Thermometer. Okay, this is this one. This device is a new breed of performance-enhancing wearable technology that can naturally make you feel alert or relaxed. By rhythmically pulsing the inside of your wrist, the device harnesses our innate responses to rhythm. We react to the device's pulse in a similar way to upbeat or downbeat music, but with no noise or distraction. The device has a heartbeat, a double beat pulse that you feel on the inside of your wrist. You can control the rhythm and intensity of the beat. When the device beats at your resting heart rate, your mood will shift to being more calm. Upping the beat gets you going. You get the idea.
Okay. Interesting.
Okay, this one. This device is the world's first wearable bike lock with front and rear LED lights designed to increase rider safety and security. The concept, design, and creation of the device was driven primarily by the passion and love of cycling, with a desire to take safety and security of the cyclist to a new level without complication, along with the need to travel light. With an understanding of what cyclists needs during travel, the device is aimed to be as simplistic as it can without the compromise of safety and security, so to ensure you always arrive at your destination safely and prepared.
Okay. That one sounds kind of good.
Okay, this is the first wearable mood tracker to improve your dating life and the quality of other interpersonal relationships in your life. The device helps you evaluate potential partners with biometric data collected while you're together. It senses your heart rate, brainwaves, galvanic skin response, and then transmits wirelessly to your smartphone. The device is a stylish headset that rests as the hairline above your temple. The app helps you compare different people to determine who keeps your attention most consistently. And it's not just for singles. The device can improve friendships and work relationships by tracking patterns in your biometrics throughout the day, helping you determine the best time to schedule that important meeting or which friend puts you most at ease when you're stressed.
Okay,
So Jess, and the audience at home, which one of these is not a real crowdfunding campaign?
the first one sounds really kind of useful and kind of technical. So I want to say that that one's real.
You want to say that the fertility monitor
Yeah.
is real? Okay.
The second one could be real. I think maybe. This last one is really strange to me. And I want to say that one's the fake one.
Okay, is that your final answer?
I'm going to say the watch is the fake one.
You are incorrect.
No!
This one, this is not the real one. This last one
This
is
last
not the real
one? Okay. I was thinking about it, and then I was like, I don't know, that does sound like something that someone would try to make, though.
Well, what Phil said what Phil said when I read these to him was, well, those will all be Kickstarters at one point. I'm like,
True.
yes, but only 3 of them actually are. Okay, so
It did kind of tip me off when you called the forehead thing stylish.
Ah, damn it! I gave it away. I need to work on my. It's the first time we've done this segment. I need to work on my writing. Okay, just to be fair, right? This is the Yono Fertility Friend. It's a real Kickstarter project. Mm-hmm. This is the Doppel Performance Enhancing Wearable Device. Okay. This is the Vivid Bike Lock, all real crowdfunding campaigns you can go support right now. And this is actually the Think, which is similar to the Doppel. It's supposed to be like a mood altering wearable that actually like zaps the front of your face with that. Maybe I should have just read the real description of this and then
it zaps your face.
Yeah, it zaps your face to make you like
like electroshock therapy.
Yeah, a little bit.
On your forehead.
The way they put it, it like puts you in a good mood somehow.
Okay.
I was worried you were gonna have seen the pictures of this thing online before and know that it was fake because there's pictures of it. Like a lot of sites have reviewed it.
Yeah, I mean, you did describe it as a dating thing, and these two people aren't even looking at each other. I mean,
They're comparing. I thought maybe they're comparing their date data with
other people.
I don't know. I don't know. All right. Did I do a good job? I mean, she didn't get it.
You did do a good job. I mean, definitely.
If you have a better name for our segment besides quiz game,
Quiz game.
I thought maybe we could do many quiz games, and that would be just one of the quiz games we do.
Yeah, I like it.
But I'm taking nominations
That's
for
fun.
segment names as well. Okay, great. Thank you for playing at home. Thanks, Jess, for being a good sport about our new
Leslie got it
segment.
right.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go Leslie.
She knows what's up.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Thanks. If you approve of our new segment and you would like to buy some Adafruit products, you can get 10% off with code UNICORN.
Okay. Time for your questions. Becky will answer them. And the prize, Getting Started with Adafruit Flora by Tyler and Becky.
We wrote a book. We're
Wrote a
going
book
to give
together.
you one. One of you is going to win a book.
Okay, first question from Duerte. Hi, Becca with the, I don't know how to write code, and I wanted to know, is it possible to program the buzzing mindfulness bracelet to vibrate every minute and at every 30 minutes vibrate in a different way?
Sure. That sounds like a nice mod for this project, actually. And although some of the code is a little bit complex because it uses some lower level functions to put the microcontroller to sleep in between buzzes, I don't believe it would be that complicated for you to modify the code to do this. So for every minute, you would just alter the one variable that's already in there for how often it vibrates, and then you would add a new variable that would every time it buzzes, it would add 1 to that variable, and then it would check to see if that variable has reached 30 or not, and if it has, it do a different buzz. So I think that is, if you play around with some very basic sample code on Arduino and a vibrating motor, I do believe that that's a good beginner coding challenge. But you do need to commit. There's this people who are like, I do not know how to write code, and that is a limitation I am unwilling to transcend.
You can learn it.
You can learn it, and the Adafruit Learning System has lots of Arduino tutorials to get you started. So yeah, I think that's a pretty good beginner goal to try to get that behavior worked out. So you can do it. It's totally not too ambitious for somebody who doesn't know coding yet at all. And I believe in you.
You can do it. The unicorns say you can do it.
You can also post up in the Adafruit forums when you're having trouble writing like a modification to some of our code. You can say in the forums, hey, I want to do this, and I don't know where to start. Can you help me out? And Bill and Rick and all the really helpful engineers in the forums will hold your hand and help you find bugs in your code when it won't compile, and they're the best.
They're the best. All right, next question. Dear Ms. Becky, my friend and I are starting a Makers Club makerspace at our middle school and wanted to know if you had any suggestions for low-cost beginners projects that don't involve any tricky soldering or programming. Thank you, Alice.
So if you're doing
I
a
think
large...
we can help you out
Yeah,
there.
we can. I think that I would recommend the LED sewing kit, beginner LED sewing kit, because all it is some batteries and some LEDs and conductive thread. So you connect them up through sewing, and there's no programming, there's no soldering, and you can make lots of different projects. And on the guide for the sewing kit, we have a couple project ideas, including the candle flicker hair bow, the embroidery of the fireflies. Somebody made a little Star Wars Jawa doll that has glowing eyes.
Cool.
Like there's lots of different things you can do, and it's good for workshops because each kit is pretty low cost and has everything you need except scissors and clear nail polish inside the package. So this is definitely a good workshop.
That seems perfect. Okay, next question. Can motion chasing EL wire be cut to size just as the regular EL wire can?
Yeah, sure. So he or she, the Edge of Beyond, is talking about this flowing effect that I captured in this little video clip here. And what that stuff is actually 3 strands of EL wire twisted together, and then inside the inverter it's sequencing the 3 of them to give this sort of spirally effect. 3 or 2, I can't remember. But yeah, you can certainly cut it shorter, but you can't, it's very difficult to solder to it. Like EL wire by itself is not the simplest thing to solder to, but this stuff has so many more strands inside that I wouldn't recommend attempting to solder to it. So yes, you can cut it shorter. It's very difficult. I wouldn't even attempt to make it longer or cut it up into multiple segments.
Okay. Hi team, I connected 4 tie 460 LED NeoPixel strips to the Flora using 2 data ports. Every 2 strips share the same data port as the Flora. Couldn't handle 4 separate LEDs in high FPS.
Frames per second.
Frames per second. I would love your feedback on this setup. It seems like I didn't need a capacitor as instructed by the Uber guide. Do you think I need it anyway? What else do you think is required to ensure the 4-strip setup to work properly? There seems to be a small glitch when I power on the Flora, connect to USB or battery pack. The 4th strip lights all blue until the setup code is called and the strip loaded up. Any idea what this could be?
Okay, cool. So
And here's a picture.
that's nice. Thank you we love it when you post pictures with your forum questions because it really helps us debug your setup. This looks great. See those are some NinjaFlex diffusers on there, some strips like the crystal spikes.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Looking.
Love your diffuser game.
Yeah.
You said you used a 4 AA battery pack, and that is a lot of LEDs to drive off of just 4 AA batteries, and it'll go, but probably not for very long. I don't know if like an hour, maybe 2 hours. And if you want it to last longer than that, I would use a bigger battery pack, like one of our USB battery banks, like the big white ones they're like, for Raspberry Pi or for charging your iPad or whatever. Yeah. And then you plug it in over USB and you're going to get a lot longer charge out of that. And then for the capacitor, so the NeoPixel Uber Guide covers all uses of NeoPixels, whether you're making like a giant digital billboard or you're making a unicorn headband. So it has a lot of information in there, and it recommends you use this capacitor at the beginning of the circuit to filter the power. So what it does is it smooths out the voltage spike. So when you plug in like a wall supply, the voltage can spike and that can damage your pixels. And what the capacitor does, it acts like a bucket, it catches extra voltage, and then when there's a sudden draw, it can release some electrons. So the capacitor is really for plug-in wall supplies, and any battery-powered projects you can probably get away without it. For instance, I don't usually use that capacitor on any of my battery-powered projects, and I have only fried a couple NeoPixels, and that would be by connecting them live with connecting power and not ground at first. Anyway, so use a bigger battery pack. I don't think you need the capacitor for your battery-powered project. And then, what was your other question? Oh, about the blue, the strip lights up blue before the code turns on. Yeah. So Rick already answered this question in the forums, and I learned this from Rick because I'd seen this happen to my NeoPixels too, and I knew it was normal, but I didn't know what it exactly was. When the chips start up, they have a default state, and it's usually like undefined. And the way space works on like these little chips is like there's data written to sections of the RAM, and like a portion of that RAM is representing like the state of the chip. And when it starts up, it's usually empty, but sometimes when it starts up, it has some previous data in there, or it gets it from like a floating pin or something, or it's not being told what color to be by the microcontroller, and sometimes it guesses, I'll just be blue. I've seen them also go white. And it's just like residual information left on the chip from the last time, and because it hasn't gotten a new instruction. So I hope that sort of clarifies a little bit. It's normal. It's not going to stop anytime soon either. It's totally normal.
Cool. It's not broken. Don't worry.
Not broken. And your project looked like it's turning out really cool, and I would encourage you to continue posting pictures in the forum so that we can celebrate it and talk about it more.
Yeah, I want to see what it winds up
looks like
being.
I don't know what it's going to be. He's leaving us hanging there because it looks really cool with your 3D printed diffusers.
Yeah.
Thank you for writing. Okay.
Let's see who wins a copy of the book.
Yeah, Jess is going to pick the winner from the Sticky Burn hat.
Okay.
You will win a no fertility friend. I mean, a book, a copy of Getting Started.
Oh, it's Alice. Great.
Oh, nice. Good job, Alice.
Perfect.
Okay, so Alice, you can use your copy of Getting Started with Adafruit Flora to maybe think of the next project that your class is going to make and do around a workshop. There are definitely some first programming projects in there.
Yeah, definitely.
And you can claim your prize by emailing support@adafruit.com, which is kind of Jess's email, and then we'll get it right out to you. And thank you for asking. If you have questions and you want to make yourself eligible to win the prize in the future, all you have to do is ask your Wearables questions now in the comments, later in the comments on the Adafruit blog, Twitter, Google+, and we'll queue them up for a future show. If you didn't win and you still want a copy of the book, but you don't want to pay full price,
Oops.
use code UNICORN.
Use code UNICORN.
Okay, thanks guys for the excellent show. Thank you, Jess.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Hosting with my fellow unicorn is always a pleasure.
Unicorn people unite.
Tonight, if you have an electronics project you'd like to show off, you can go back. You can
sorry.
show the show and tell. You can show it off on the show and tell in Google Plus. You just have to RSVP on the Google Plus event, and you'll be added to the circle. Then you'll get invited tonight and every Wednesday night. Show off your projects, and then right after that is Mr. Lady Ada and Mrs. Lady Ada on Ask an Engineer at 8 p.m. And then actually we left this slide in, but there is no 3D Hangout. So tomorrow, Noe and Pedro are having a summer vacation.
Ooh,
Sort
have
of.
fun.
They're actually babysitting, but
Okay. Still
they're
fun.
having a week off from the show. We took a week off from our shows. They're taking a week off from the shows, but you can catch up on. They're still having a debut project that I teased earlier. This flexible LED glove project comes out tomorrow, so subscribe so you can catch that. Email notification or what have you, and they'll be back again next week with another 3D Hangout video talking CAD and all that stuff. And if you can watch the 12-minute layer by layer video about the unicorn horn instead of the 3D Hangout if you're like want to spend time with the Ruiz brothers.
Yeah,
I know that I am always like, I need at least 12 minutes of Ruiz brothers in my Thursday, or I am like remiss.
Yeah, I mean, what else are you going to do on your lunch break, right? There you go.
Watch 3D printing videos on YouTube. I mean,
Yeah, that's true.
if you're here, that's probably relevant to your interests. Okay, thanks guys for watching. Thanks Jess for hosting. We'll be back again next week. Subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can find out soonest when we release new videos. And we'll see you back again next week.
See you next week. Bye.